Mamba out. It's time for the Bennington Show, the only father-daughter radio show in the history of radio. And don't ever stop yelling Kobe during trash can shots. I'm Vito Calise, and for the first time in my life, I think I want to see a Lakers title run. It's Ron Bennington, Gail Bennington, the Bennington Show.
It is the Bennington Show, the only father-daughter radio show in the history of radio. I'm Gail Bennington.
I'm Ron Bennington, and Vito called me at my home this morning to ask me if he could open the show with a tribute to Kobe, and I'm shocked that was it. Where was the tribute in that?
I just meant, I don't know.
Vito is really, really crushed over Kobe.
He's so broken up about it.
Did you know that you love Kobe this much?
Yeah, like Kobe's never been my favorite like basketball player. Like he was never my number one, but like I've always been a fan, and I remember like the first jersey my mom ever bought me was a Kobe Bryant jersey, and like I'll never forget getting that jersey from this store and like begging for it for months.
But then he was your favorite.
Well, I mean, like I don't know, like I don't want to claim he was because it wasn't somebody I idolized. It wasn't somebody I wanted to be.
Yes, if you begged for him as your first jersey, it meant that you idolized him. You've been crying, you said, for the last couple of days.
Yeah.
The last day.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I haven't been affected by death probably since my dad died when I was a kid, and like I've had family members die since.
Yeah,
and I don't know like why I feel like this for somebody I didn't know.
So the Kobe thing got to you.
Yeah, and like Gail said, every story that came out more and more, like when it came out that he died, I threw my phone down and I thought I was going to throw up. And then I was just sitting there for an hour refreshing Twitter, hoping that somebody hacked TMZ, because everybody knows Kobe took a helicopter to every game. And it just seems like, in my head, I was just like, it seems like somebody could have saw a helicopter crash and go, it would be funny to put up online that it's Kobe. And then just an hour of just hoping it was wrong. And then telling, like, I was just explaining to my girlfriend, like, you know, it's good that his kids weren't with him. Like, he was with his daughters all the time, and like they're missing out on this father, and he coaches his daughter's basketball team. And then an hour or two later, you find out she was on the helicopter with him.
At first we hear that, then they take it away, and then we hear it again. Yeah. Who is the person who let you know?
I was just
Hard Rock Johnny.
No, I was actually just I just looked at Twitter, and I saw a TMZ link and thought this is bullshit. This can't be true.
It was interesting just to watch people's reactions. It was very much to that unified thing of watching it kind of unfold through social media, and just the outpouring immediately.
Well, you know, while this is happening, our friend Deb from the iBang, who books a lot of the Unmasked for us and a lot of the comics on the show, she lost her father. And it's the rawest time when that happens, you know? And obviously that triggered stuff for me and you. Mm-hmm. Chris Stanley, you know, we've all, everybody but Earl has been through it, if we're going to be totally honest. Yeah. But, and then this lands on top of it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's... You don't have anything set up. And when I heard about the little girl, I'm just like, and then I'm like, okay, and her friends were on there. And,
it's so sickening. I was thinking too, you know, I saw some people saying, you know, let's not forget, everyone's focused on Kobe, but let's not forget that there were other people who died in this. And I was thinking, you know, really, it is interesting because everybody always has opinions about the way people react when a celebrity, a superstar dies, and people's reaction. But the truth of it is, in this circumstance, I think that it illuminated and opened up those stories. Whereas if you read about a horrible crash, and you're like, that's really sad. A family died. That's really sad. I heard that there was a kid on board. I feel like it makes you delve deeper, and sometimes, people think, oh, how could you feel that connection to celebrity? But the reason why is you build, you kind of build that relationship, and it humanizes.
Also, do you want to do us all a favor, not tell people how to mourn? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People die every day, but shut the fuck up.
Well,
how about you do this behind your fucking keyboard? If you got nothing to add, just fucking sit there.
The reason that's such a silly thing to say is they only say when someone's sad about a celebrity or something, oh, people die every day. Well, if you have that zen feeling about death, why don't you feel that way when it's someone you know personally? Yes,
Right.
people die every day, and it impacts you more the more you know someone personally.
Yeah.
Whether you know them face to face or you followed them their whole career. But I think the thing that also really struck me was thinking about his retirement and the way that is for his family is like they kind of just got him. You know what I mean? Like he just kind of left the game. And so you kind of think about where the time he would have been able to spend with his family or what they were going to do next or what projects or things.
I mean, apparently he was doing it too. He was coaching his kids and he was using his hundreds of millions of dollars the way any of us would feel great about ourselves if we had hundreds of millions of dollars. It's heartbreaking. But, just like I said, when you connect with our friend Deb losing her dad, we hide ourselves from the inevitable every single day.
Yes.
You have to be shocked into the feeling. We're very, very good about acting like life is normal and boring and, draining on our time. And we have to get this slap across the face before we see, okay, it's finite and it's difficult to be alive and there's a lot of pain involved with loving people.
Yes. And that the more people you love, the more like your heart is exposed to the world. And it's hard. You don't have the energy to be as grateful as you should be every day when you come home and go, here we are, we're all safe and sound, and another day we get to spend together. That would be incredibly exhausting if you were able to feel that weight every day. So yes, we do have these shocks where you remember it.
Well, like when people were always saying, why can't we keep the Christmas spirit alive all the time? And you're like, you do it. You know what I mean? Because you will not do it.
You want to be happy, merry, singing door to door every day? That's crazy.
There was a funny thing on Curb last night where he goes, you got a great view here. How long does it take you before you were bored of it or took it for granted? And I'm like, we have a view of New York City.
Yep.
I used to go out every commercial break and look at it. I never do anymore. I used to spend every commercial break walking out going, I can't believe I'm in this fucking tower looking around New York City. But isn't that life?
Yeah. I was thinking about for the first time in my life, I have a little tiny space of outdoor. I've never had that in New York City. And I was like, I'm going to be out here every day, rain or shine. In the winter, I'll sit out there in my coat and have my coffee. Now I just look out like, it looks very cold out there. No, thanks.
That's because you don't smoke. If you smoked, you'd be enjoying it more.
I actually said that. I was like, it's a shame that I don't smoke anymore because at least I know I would use it.
But, a lot of people are putting up the, tell people that you love them every day or reach out every day. And we do say that during these times, but then we don't do it. You know what I mean? I could reach out to Vito more. Vito, what do you even need now with what you're going through?
I don't know. It's just, I'm really shocked. I just can't get over my own reaction to it. And that's freaking me out the most is that, like, I don't know why for like 25 years now, 24 years, I haven't reacted to anything. And then it like this just.
Well, I think, like we said, it's like sometimes it can be a reminder of of mortality, and also, you know, you were very young when you lost your father, and this is somebody who is like a bigger than life to you when you were a kid. Is it any shock that, you know, you would feel that it would crush your heart?
I'm going to ask you, Chris Stanley, what was the celebrity death or the death that took place that made you feel vulnerable in a way that you didn't expect?
This might sound silly, but it was when James Gandolfini passed away.
Now, why would you think that would sound silly? What are you embarrassed about? Here's a man who looked like you, who acted like you, played a character that's not that different than the Chris Stanley story. But what was it?
Oh, well, first it was out of nowhere. It was very sudden. He died in his sleep. And then I read what he had eaten before he died, and it seemed like something I would eat. And,
by the way, they act like it was monstrous.
Yeah, it didn't seem that bad. It was like a bunch of foie gras and a steak and maybe a lobster or something.
And I think some Italian food, right?
And some Italian food, yeah. Cause I think
That
it was,
sounds like something you do.
yes, and also like I was a big...
If he had the money.
And I was a big fan of James Gandolfini.
Sure.
I remember like looking at my phone, holy shit, I didn't think he was going to die. And then because he kind of always also looked the same age, even from like the first movies he did.
Yeah, because when he was young, he looked old.
Yeah, and so when he dies, and then I started reading details, like Jesus Christ, this is fucking terrible.
Yeah,
I feel awful right now.
You know, I just went back and I don't think he did. Did I ever tell you guys about Radio Man?
Yeah, I know who Radio Man is. Yeah.
Well, he did the show one time, and then not too long ago they did a documentary. And all these people in the documentary, I mean, Meryl Streep, George Clooney, Radio Man, you know what I mean? He's a part of this whole thing. And then they get to James Gandolfini, and you just see him staring. He's like, are you done? Is it over? You know what I mean? Like, he had no fucking time for this bull. I get it. Radio Man's around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he wasn't sentimental about this half a homeless guy. You know what I mean?
Who just showed up places constantly.
Yeah, and it was really, really funny. I'm like, finally, there's a little bit of honesty into this.
Yeah.
844 Rock God. Who was it for you, Gail?
Well, honestly, I think Princess Diana's death was so disturbing to me as a child, particularly because I think about in between the ages of her boys.
Yeah.
The horror of the death, that, you know, the car chase and the crash and the horrible accident and the fact that she was leaving her sons behind. And I think at my age, looking at them, it really shook me. It shook
the whole world.
Yeah, it was so traumatic, I think. Just the circumstance of it, and then the horror of, you know, being their age and thinking about losing a mother. Of like a children without their mother is like beyond what kids.
Well, look
can
how poorly they were raised. You know what I mean? They look like they were raised by a fucking royalty. I'm going to give you two that you may have forgotten. But I remember, you know, I was the dad doing this, and I always wanted to make sure that I took it for the way it felt. One was Joey Ramone.
Yes.
Where I remember I said something so stupid to you that, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, I got to make sure the next line is. But I remember, like, you came in and you, like, woke me up and you're like, Dad, I just saw Joey Ramone died. And I got up and I tried to say something good. And I was like, yeah, but he rocked his whole life. You know what I mean? I said something really stupid.
Rocked
like,
for a lot of years.
He rocked a lot of years and we were rocking. You know what I mean? I remember saying I got to do better. But when Bradley Noel died, that
laid me out.
Yeah, because that was truly a, you know, coming of age performer. And I think a lot of times a lot of people don't realize how much their kid might have loved James Dean in 1955. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's your James Dean. It's never going to mean the same thing to the parents. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But when somebody is taken at that, where they will never grow old, you know what I mean? Right. The Brian Jones thing. Brian Jones is always young. That is, that's tough.
Look who we've got here. It's Chad Zumock.
Hey, Gail. Hi, Ron.
Hey, buddy.
how's it
Long
going?
time.
Yeah, I wanted to call because I was really disappointed with Vito's opening to the show, the tribute to Kobe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't move me at all, and, you know, he had 24 hours to come up with something, and I didn't get it with the trash can thing. It just didn't make any sense.
I will, and Vito, come running in here. I will not say that you're wrong. He called me before and said,
Chuck.
is it a bad idea for me to open with a tribute to Kobe? And I go, do you feel it? And he's like, yes, I've been crying. I go, then do it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole thing. Put yourself out there. Vito, you just came in and threw your phone.
Yeah, because I don't get who would fucking call and say something
Chad.
like that. Yeah.
Chad Zumock, the funny comedian.
Yeah.
What is your problem?
I don't get what who would call and say some shit like that. If somebody's obvious, like, you know, I'm not fucking happy right now. Like, I'm kind of a little down about what happened.
But what Chad says is you're professional, and you should have come in and nailed it.
Yeah. I guess Chad's fucking right.
I mean, it's like one of your favorite players, and that's all you came up with? I mean, I like you, Vito, but come on, dude.
He is right. I mean, this is your opportunity as a communicator.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where were you going with the trash can thing?
It's literally something everybody from my generation's done. I'm sorry, Chad, if you're not a millennial, if you're fucking some 50-year-old man. But we would throw shit in the garbage can and yell Kobe, usually. That's something that everybody from my generation did. I'm sorry that didn't fucking touch you,
but
dude.
why would that be your tribute? Throwing fucking trash away in a trash can.
I don't know. I didn't want to. I just wanted to. I wanted to not do anything wild. I didn't want to say anything that would come off.
You know what should go in the trash can, right? Is your tribute.
Do you think Kobe's trash?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying there's so much more you could have done. I mean,
What would you have done, Chad? Let me hear your fucking fantastic intro, Chad. You go.
Well, give me 24 hours. Like
Chad, you had 24 hours,
Well, let's
didn't
do
you?
it now. He didn't know he was doing the thing. Let's have Chad call tomorrow and see if he can pull off a tribute.
That sounds nice.
Does that sound fair?
That sounds fucking great, Chad. I hope you do a great goddamn
All right,
job.
you're being sarcastic.
I hope
okay?
Chad fucking crushes it. Chad, you're so great, dude. You're gonna crush it. You're the fucking best, Chad.
This is all sarcasm that you're doing instead of really trying to say we'd like.
No. I want Chad to do a great job. I believe in Chad.
That's also sarcastic.
I believe in Chad.
Stop it.
We
Stop
all
saying-
believe. Chad, we
stop
believe.
saying Chad like
Chad,
it's a
we are
bad thing.
witnesses, Mr. Cleveland. We believe.
All right.
All right.
Stop it. Now,
Sorry for your loss. I'll listen to the rest of the show off the air.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you listen to the rest of the show off the air?
all right, that doesn't make sense, and you're not
No,
a bully.
he's on the phone. Why would he not? Why would what?
We'll talk to you tomorrow, Chad.
Bye, Chad.
All right, take care. Bye.
Good
Say it.
luck tomorrow.
Dude, can I just say two things? Number one, I don't like when someone talks to a listener, but a big comedian listener like Chad Zumock, you know what I mean? It's part of our format, and you just don't act like his name is something to mock, like Chad.
I mean, it is a very white name. I get it, but you shouldn't say it so harshly.
Kobe wouldn't want this.
Chris,
We know that you're not trying to help, that you're just
Yeah.
being a dick, so
Not
don't do it.
helpful.
Okay.
This is a time where Vito fucking hurts.
Yeah,
I
he's
know.
and this is the way Vito.
Imagine
hurts.
if there
This
was,
is a default.
Let me put it in a way that you can understand.
Okay.
How you felt when the OTBs shut down,
Yeah.
or when the dollars slice went to $1.25.
Yeah.
That was
But
hard
didn't
for me.
change their name.
It's terrible times.
Now, Vito, you did not do anything that moved the needle today. Just so you know
Yeah.
that, I felt the same as Chad, or as you call him, Chad. I was like, I was coming in here today. I wonder what Vito's doing, that he would call me at home. Bother me. You know what I mean? And then, but like, can I do this tribute? And then I heard the trash can thing, and I'm like, what? What? I felt like it was almost racist.
No, it's not. It's not racist.
John in Kansas.
Hey guys.
Hey, how's it going?
I just wanted to defend Vito on the intro. I thought he did a fine job with it. Today is a really weird day for a lot of people, and I can see how he would want to do something, but you also got to remember, you guys are a very funny radio show, and so you don't want to know, you don't want to do something that's going to start everything off just completely somber, but then you also don't want to make people start laughing right off the gate either, because you got to do something. And I got the trash can reference, and it made me smile when he did it, because it's like it kind of put me back to what I'm listening to, you know?
But here's the thing. He didn't do either one of those things. He didn't make us laugh. He didn't make us sad. He made us bored, or he made us feel like, I guess this guy doesn't care about Kobe at all. You know, a very good friend of mine, Ari Shafir, his account was hacked yesterday. And I felt like that was less offensive. That hacked tweet was less offensive than what Vito did with his trash can thing today.
It's weird that if he was hacked, that he never deleted it. You know, just throw it out there as proof.
By the way, let's look at Vito. Vito is still sitting here steaming over Chad. Why are you willing to be angry instead of sad?
I'm both.
It seems like you're more angry than anything else.
Right now, I'm pretty fucking mad at...
But I think that, you know, the reason why you're as intensely angry as you are is because you're a raw nerve right now, and sometimes it's easier to default to anger at a Chad Zumock than it is to be truly sad.
Yeah, I mean...
And you felt picked on, and I get that, but I also think your intensity that you went to is because you're feeling so emotional right now.
Like I said, I have pretty much shut off every death in my life for a long time, and I'm in a weird place right now where I don't know why. I've been just randomly crying and like looking at pictures of somebody I don't know, and like just seeing every time I see a video of him talking about his daughter on a talk show and like how proud he was of her. It's just like it's
something your dad never said about you.
Yeah. Yeah, we never had that chance.
Well, you had the chance. You were how old?
3.
Okay, but you were enormous at 3.
Yeah,
right?
I was
the size of a 10-year-old at least.
I was ready.
Steve in PA.
Hey, this is quite similar to Stevie Ray Vaughan when he died in a helicopter. Really, they're both in the top 10 of their players of all times. And
can I just tell you something, my friend? And this is really sad, but when Stevie Ray Vaughan died, there was relief in the media that it wasn't Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton was on the other helicopter. So the initial reports gone, this helicopter went down, and it was some kind of gunslinger guitar tour that was going on.
Right.
I forget who was all in it, but people were literally in the headlines were like, thank God it wasn't Clapton.
Jesus.
And I always remember really feeling bad about that.
That's so sad.
Because Clapton was a legend,
Yeah.
and Stevie Ray Vaughan was the up-and-coming guy.
Sure.
But, you know, I worked in radio then, and people were like saying, could you imagine if it was Clapton? And I was like, what? You know, why can't we just feel bad about Stevie Ray Vaughan?
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people go down in helicopters.
Yeah.
Bill Graham
Yeah.
died in a helicopter, and I always remember that story. It was like he flew to see if Huey Lewis and the News would do some charity gig. He wanted to ask them face to face, and I'm like, out of all the groups, it was Huey Lewis and the News were the last group that he tried to convince, like, hey, if you guys do this thing for the school or whatever, it'd be great. And they're like, yeah, okay. Because no one could say, you know, to his face, we don't want to do that. The next GPS that we do is going to be on the Winterland Ballroom. And that was a place that Bill Graham did all the stuff. It was really, really great stuff out of there.
That's going to air this Saturday, 3 p.m. East on Deep Tracks, Channel 27. That's GPS Winterland Ballroom. Brandy in Canada.
Hello. First-time caller. Super bad at talking in public, but I had to call because it's making me crazy. that anybody would have anything bad to say about somebody's tribute. With the whole trash can thing and Chad calling him to say that it was shit, I don't think that's right or fair. Vito spoke from the heart, and he made reference to something that was important to him and brought back memories for him. And for somebody to call and say it stunk is super, super wrong.
I mean, the thing is, and it's no offense to Vito, but it really came up short. And Chad just said probably what everybody was thinking. Like, what was that supposed to mean? You know what I mean? Like, there's some people who would take it as an insult to Kobe and his daughter and the other people on that helicopter. I was surprised that you didn't bring all of them up, Vito.
Yeah, I mean, I was just insulted that somebody like Chad had anything to comment about me.
Thank you for calling, Brandy.
And Brandy, for somebody who doesn't like to speak in public, I think you did a decent job.
You're a fine girl.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks, Brandy.
Call back tomorrow after Chad does his thing.
Yeah, I'd like to get her review then.
Yeah. Is Chad one of the comedians that's going to be picking the Super Bowl thing?
No shot.
Let's get him for that.
I think I'm going to lose his fucking number.
How many big names we got for this?
We have a
we
lot.
haven't got the promos yet.
We have a lot of big names. We got Bill Burr. We got Gary Gulman. We have Chris DiStefano. We have.
Can I just say something? What is this? A salute to white men? Is the patriarchy fucking winning once again?
The patriarchy is good at picking football.
Yeah. Who else?
We'll have
Women, people of color,
Bridget Everett,
gays.
Christy Cello.
She's gay,
She's a woman.
and women are gay.
No, sometimes.
What is this? A tribute to Kobe that you're half-heartedly doing? Can I tell you something? You threw an air ball. So what? It happens. Pressure. It's tough when you feel the pressure.
Masood, Canada. Did I say it correctly?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Thanks for taking my call. This really got to me, this whole Kobe thing. I think the proximity to my own age, I'm 40 years old. I've got a daughter who's 7 years old, and, I try to spend as much time with her as I can. And seeing those images and everything, it really it gutted me for the rest of the day, to be quite honest. And I don't remember feeling this way about any other celebrity or any other passing that's happened in my lifetime. And just the comment on Vito, I didn't hear the intro, so I can't comment, but I will say that when I heard you guys talking about the trash can, it immediately resonated with me because it is something that we always said as well. So thanks again for my call.
Obviously, we all said it too, but what we didn't do was think that's the main thing that he's known for. Ash writes this to the show: stop being such an asshole to Vito. Yelling Kobe when you make a basket in the trash can is a staple to our generation. Not our fault that you all don't understand it. Plenty of us did understand it and appreciated it. But Ash, this is the thing why you're, what I'd like to say, age-splaining. And I will say this: you do look kind of hot. Thought that you'd have more than 590 followers.
Get on that.
It could have been something that gutted us. You know what I mean? Not just a throwaway. And he left himself open. And when Chad called to disagree, instead of acting like Vito, like he was an artist, he came across as a spoiled little boy. You know what I mean, Vito? This was your time to explain yourself as an artist. A lot of times when we have our critics, you have to hear them out. Instead, you came in, you threw a phone, and you made fun of the fact that he has the only way that I could say it, a gay name, is what your problem with him was.
It's not, I wouldn't call it a gay name. I just think that...
Well, it's definitely a gay name.
Mark in Toronto.
Yeah, I just want to say, I remember my father passed away and I was very upset. And then when Leonard Cohen died, I was driving my car and you guys opened up with "If It Be Your Will." I had to pull over and I completely lost it. And Gail, you were amazing on that too. I just couldn't get over it. It was Leonard Cohen. I never met him, saw him many times in concert, but it hit me harder than my father. Amazing.
See, that's the thing that I'm going back to. That's the weird thing about this,
Yeah.
is that sometimes these are way more unblocked than if you lost an old football coach or a teacher or even a relative.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I don't think Vito would be crying. Well, I mean, we've lost friends of this show. And Vito, I remember once we're sitting around talking about it, and Vito was just, I looked over and he was on his third sandwich. And I'm like,
Cold normally. Strange.
and this is before he started losing his weight.
Oh, yeah, it would have to be.
Yeah.
And Vito screamed at me, "I can eat while I'm mourning." And I go, "Well, I can't deny that. That's a true point. I'm just saying that it's off-putting." You know
right.
what I mean?
And you also have to do some mourning in order to earn that status.
What he was doing, I think, was eating his feelings.
Yeah.
But with that much mayo, I don't think you should.
It's delicious.
I always like to say just a spoonful of mayo. Helps the tragedy go down. Who do you think Earl's would be?
It's got to be someone from the music world. I feel like that's something that would be most emotional for him.
I think it's going to be either MLK, Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Earl, who was it?
It was Michael Jackson.
Really?
Like, shockingly hit me hard because it was just
Ped stuff?
not the pets. It was just so random and so even the situation.
It was the exact opposite of random. I mean, like I talked about with Elvis, we saw this coming with Michael. We're like, people were saying for a long time, Michael is not going to make it. You know what I mean? Michael
He's in
looks
a bad
terrible.
way.
And I think the Ped stuff did stop it from being bigger than it was.
Well, I think it was a very, it made everyone feel very mixed because I think everyone had that feeling of like, we've lost this cultural icon, somebody who's meant something for, most of us our entire lives, somebody who was like part of the fabric of popular culture.
Right.
But then knowing all of those rumors, and it was a very strange way. You're like, I feel surreal and I'm certainly sad. And I think about like little Michael Jackson and it makes me really sad, but I don't quite know where to put my emotions for this.
And right before he died, everyone was like, "Why would he sign?" He signed like some huge deal, I think, in Vegas to do a residency there, and like he's not going to be able to survive this thing because there were like stories coming out like he was drugged up during the rehearsals and shit.
Right.
Yeah, we all knew it. I mean, I felt like we all felt worse when Prince died
Yeah.
than when Michael died.
That was such a shock. I mean, nobody saw that coming. That was really, really shocking.
And I remember when Scott Muni died, Earl didn't even have a tear.
Figures.
Oh, wow.
You know what he said to me?
What?
He rocked on for a lot of years.
These are wise words.
Vito, you still look upset rather than sad.
No,
And you're still going internal rather than external.
I don't know. I don't know what to think. I thought I did a good job. I didn't want to do anything that would be taken as offensive, so I just tried to do something that was nice, and some people don't like it. So
Here's the thing that I'm going to teach
Whatever.
you to be as a communicator, right?
Yeah.
When you go inside, you're not communicating.
yeah,
So obviously, I mean, we didn't get a lot of calls saying, "Man, Vito nailed it." That really summed up Kobe for us. That didn't happen. We all dropped it. When Chad pointed it out, rather than you being vulnerable and explaining, well, here's how I feel, because we didn't get the sad you. We got the angry you. We got the anti-white you. You know what I mean? We got the anti-boomer you. You did some age attacking. You didn't come across as that kind of a communicator type guy. You came across as a guy, and don't take this the wrong way, who will not make it in radio.
cool. I gotta step out.
Stop this for a second. Vito, are you okay now, buddy?
Yeah, everything's great. I'm fine.
Right.
I'm good.
Back to sarcasm stuff.
I'm not
I
being
get it.
sarcastic. I'm.
Yeah. I'm sorry that more was asked of you than you could, do today. We've all had those fucking days. Not on the air, but we've all had those days. But I hope you're okay now. All right, it's the Bennington Show.
Dave in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, when I heard Big Laker died, the first thought was Shaq.
First of all, you're lying. You never heard a big Laker died. They never once said a big Laker died. Now, are you saying Shaq would have been a bigger loss?
To me, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
I thought it was Shaq. Oh my God, that crushed me. Because that guy, to me, he's a personable guy.
First of all, we all know Shaq's going to go early because of his size. We've prepped ourselves for Shaq.
He's too big to live.
But I would say this, Kobe, like I said early in the show, seemed invincible.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the foul shot when he tore his Achilles, like the moments like that, and then the fact that he went out when he retired, his team had diminished, but he was still playing at not his peak, but he was still great.
Like he was 60 in his last game.
It was one of the that game was the same night the Warriors broke the regular season record, and not a single person watched that game. Everybody was watching the Kobe game, and I can't even think the last time an athlete had a last game like that, where it was almost good that they weren't in the playoffs because he didn't go out in a loss.
How about Derek Jeter going out at home with a fucking home run?
It's fucking amazing. It was beautiful.
And then going to Boston and getting applause.
Yeah. I mean, the fucking guy was beloved. Still is.
Cappy.
Fucking love him.
Chris, how many runs did Jeter have that game?
I don't know, 5.
But we all know how many points Kobe had in his last game.
Here's the thing. We're respecting your Kobe now. You got to respect his Jeter.
It's just because he's a Yankee. It's all. It's that bullshit Met bias.
No, I like Derek Jeter.
Team of losers.
If Derek Jeter would have died, you'd
feel nothing.
No, that's not true. Because I think that's exactly what I'm saying. Is like if it's a sport you love and somebody's that good, it's going to hit you.
Let's also say this though: Jeter, most beautiful women ever, didn't have to rape anybody.
That's right.
True.
Everything consensual.
And would give them a nice basket full of different kind of signed Yankee stuff.
Hold on.
Class. Pure class.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, like I could keep this, but I could also sell it. You know what I mean? It's very
signed
nice.
balls.
There's also some energy waters in there that are not even on the market yet. Replenish on your way home.
I did enjoy people like on Twitter just being like, just so you guys know, there was a rape allegation. It's like, I'm pretty sure everyone knows that and remembers it. But for some people, they thought they were breaking news about it. And it was like it never went to trial.
No.
Like she dropped the charge.
She dropped the charge, and then supposedly maybe she got paid. But if that's the deal, then she's come up with a price, and it's, you know what I mean? I don't know what happens with people.
And I remember there certainly was a statement where he was like, I can tell you at the time, I truly believed what was happening was consensual, but I see what she's saying now. Not necessarily like I did it, but he was like, I'm trying to listen to whatever, I don't know, but it was a drop situation. You'll never know because when those things don't get to trial.
Well, we'll know now when the movie comes out.
Right. Those will be all facts.
Now, all right, somebody sent this to us that there was somebody who wrote in 2012, Kobe is going to end up dying in a helicopter crash. I guess that's because he was taking 2 helicopters a day.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, because Noso said this. You could say anybody was going to die in any way and then hold it back there. I mean, there wasn't a thing.
And now with the amount of voices and everything's documented, then yeah, you can make predictions all day. Something might come true.
Helicopters are also pretty notoriously unsafe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, look at all the ones in New York City with the tourist stuff.
Now, were they going to make a move like that they were no longer going to be allowed to do those helicopter tours over the city? Did they finally pass that?
It seems like they went away for a long time, but now I've been seeing Instagram ads come back for NYC helicopter tours.
Yeah. I wouldn't take one. One just went down in Kauai the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, the Jurassic Park type tour. And that thing disappeared. I didn't even know if they found it. It was just gone.
Oh, God.
What am I, the only person who takes the Slate quiz every week?
I'm going to start doing that.
Well, because of our work, we will pass and beat most people in the Slate quiz because we have to know the news.
I do like when you take a quiz on one of those sites and they tell you like the percentage, like how you're doing percentage-wise compared to other people. Makes me feel very good.
Yeah. I'll tell you this. I took a thing on BuzzFeed that told me out of all the friends, I'm a Ross. That's bullshit.
That's crap.
I'm a Rachel. And I've always been a Rachel.
Anyone could see that.
Thank you.
Your style.
Remember when I came here? It's because I ran out of my wedding.
Yeah, that's how we all.
Let's go around here. Who would be itch? Earl's Gunther.
Sure.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. You nailed that one.
I mean, I never
Chris.
watched the show.
I think he's our Joey.
I'll take that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I was sitting here thinking, is Joey Vito or is Joey Chris?
Well, Vito, when he had more weight, was Joey.
Now, did Joey live with Chandler, or did they have separate apartments?
Come on.
I swear
really
this is
can't.
a real
This
question.
is like one of these people who are
This
like,
isn't bullshit.
this is like one of those people who are like, I've never seen a
He
Star
thinks
Wars.
he's too cool. He told me the other day he doesn't have a TV.
Oh, I hate people like that. And
Cut the
like
cord, Gail.
if you watch it on your phone, then you have TV.
Guess what? I'm going to be purchasing a large screen TV.
Oh, nice.
Flat screen. Pretty excited about it.
I still got the tube, you know.
Get out of the tube, man. It's over.
Who am I? You guys think?
Give Monica.
Fuck. I had a feeling you would say that.
Yeah.
I really
You're
don't.
controlling.
Oh my god, that's so not. I don't feel like I'm
When
controlling or tidy enough to
hold
be
on.
Monica.
When Vito had his little meltdown, who went in to make sure everything was okay?
Me, the Phoebe of the group.
Phoebe is that fucking idiot. I don't know why anybody would want to be the Phoebe. She's special needs.
She's a free spirit.
There was an episode of that show where she had sex with a guy, right?
Yeah.
The guy was arrested and taken to prison because they said he had sex with a special needs person.
Oh my!
He didn't know what she was doing.
I gotta watch this show.
How dumb? I mean, I don't want to say dumb, but is there like an IQ thing where you can have sex with somebody?
I thought that if there's a point, like if below a certain
how
IQ.
How do you know?
There has to be like a test you can take in the moment because you're not going to have like a special needs card that you ask somebody to look at. There's got to be some sort of like, if you ask these 5 questions and this person isn't able to get it, do not have sex with them. This is illegal.
This is really an interesting question. I don't know if it's ever come up before.
Yeah.
Maybe if they're illiterate, maybe that could be a sign.
No, because some people
You
are
can be illiterate and be fine.
Yeah, you
you
could
just
be-
weren't taught to read, or you have dyslexia.
Or if like your English second language, some people learn to speak English, but then they don't learn to read it.
All right, illiterate.
How about this? You can't speak English. You can't get fucked in this. Like, here's what I'm saying. Could I don't want to say Vito's girlfriend go to jail for having sex with him.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it after today's meltdown.
Right. Like, what question should she ask to see if he would have an anger management kind of issue?
I think she's making the right choices.
Can I tell you
personally.
something? I think the only way to fucking fix this is if she has one date with Chad Zumock. Vito,
And if they
come
hit it
back.
off, they hit it off.
Vito, come back. I'm just making that up. I would never. And like, really, I mean, Chris actually told us that he went to a smart school.
Yeah.
But I don't think that he's smart in like regular things. So like,
No.
he's like a absent-minded genius.
Yeah.
I'm
he can
bad.
build a computer, no problem.
Yeah, I can. Look, I'm bad socially. I'm bad with the human interactions.
I mean, you haven't
But
seen
those are the-
Friends. That's impossible.
I
gonna
really
be
haven't
honest.
seen it. I've never watched.
Those things that you're bad with are the important interactions. The human interactions are the ones that we can all agree
you
on are
realize-
important.
Saying that I've never seen Friends is the same as somebody who said, I've never watched football. We'd all fucking attack that
So
person.
why are you being...
You know what I mean?
First
You
of all-
can't miss Friends. You eat dinner, it's on then.
I also just, when I hear that, I don't think you're like an antisocial weirdo. I think you're like a troll. Like maybe you haven't seen it, but you're not seeing it on purpose.
I don't think he's seen it a lot, but he's seen it.
You haven't
I
seen
just
it.
don't know if I figured
You
Chandler
know.
made enough money to have his own place, but I don't know if he was
Chandler?
Chandler.
Why are you saying
No one's name
Chandler?
is Chandler. Not a single human.
Yeah.
I really haven't seen the show. I know the players in it. I just haven't. I don't know all the
Players.
I don't know all the what goes on between them. I know Joey's a bachelor. Phoebe's a bit of an oddball. Maybe special needs now. Chandler.
Chandler. Why
That's not a name. You know
You'd
the
be,
name.
you'd be
Chandler's
closer
real.
saying Chandler Bomb.
You know what he's going to say tomorrow? I've never seen Good Morning America. I don't know what happens there. Do they do weather?
This is very annoying.
Is there a weatherman who comes on every once in a while?
I watched Regis. All right. And now,
Doesn't it make you mad the way show business acts like they don't care that Regis went away? Here's what bothers me. You know who Regis' best show business buddy used to be? Donald Trump. Donald Trump has never once brought him to the fucking White House.
Yeah.
You never see those. You would think.
What is he up to? What does he think of that?
I guess, you know what? Maybe he's not thinking these days. You know what I mean? Maybe he's moved into you can't have sex with Regis. That's what I worry about.
And that's a world I don't want to live in.
no.
It's true. That's a world that not even Space Force. Right. By the way, am I the only person who likes the Space Force logo?
It's tried and true. If you liked it for Star Trek, why wouldn't you like it?
I actually think it's an improvement.
I think
it's got Earth in it.
It's great.
And then it also looks like an arrowhead.
I will say I do like the sparkling stars at the side. I think it's a nice touch.
Yeah.
But you know what?
And Roman numerals. I'm always a fan.
I think, you know what I really like about it? It was just a great distraction in the moment. You know, we were all worried about a bunch of newsworthy things. And then we had this.
Here.
We had something fun to talk about
nice.
and debate. And the timing was great. You know? A little something to get our mind off of things.
I've never seen basketball before. I guess that makes me an intellect. You act like you're some fucking interesting intellectual who doesn't watch the same shit.
Yeah,
as
you're the
everyone
kind of guy who doesn't go to the movies but does go to the library.
That's our Chris, Mr. Dewey Decimal System.
Now, you did also have sex with a special needs girl, right?
She wasn't special needs. She might have been troubled emotionally and mentally, but
Did she know what she was doing?
she seemed to know. Yes, she did. I will say yes, she did know what she
How
was
can you
doing.
know that she could consent if she wasn't mentally there?
One more question.
Yes.
Did she refer to your penis as a dick or a pee-pee?
Dick, Ron, and cock.
I feel your pee-pee in me.
Oh, God, no. that was never said.
Would you use dick and cock interchangeably? Back and forth between the
It
two?
was mostly cock.
Fuck me with your dick cock. Come on, fuck me with your dick cock.
I will.
Now, when she sang that to you, you didn't think she was a little off?
No. I was a little after the act. I was weirded out when she said that Eminem was old man music, essentially, and like my generation's music.
Mr. Brown wants to know, does Vito get his own day with special food like Chris did when he ran out of the room? Vito, we're going to do a Vito day for you. What food would you like?
I loved Salad Club the other week.
More fucking salad.
I think it's a day that you could treat yourself.
Cheat day.
Although, you know what was funny? I thought he was going to say, like, no, I don't need that kind of day. But he was like, well, salad.
He does need it.
I don't need it.
Hickman says Vito is definitely the Monica of the Bennington show just because of the massive weight loss. Because they always
true.
act like Monica was fat at one time, but of course she never was.
And now, in retrospect, not woke
And
because
she-
she was in a fat suit.
And not even a real fat suit, just like a fat neck suit.
Jack Nicholson said Kobe Bryant, and Jack never does any interviews, says there's a big hole in the wall with Kobe gone. I wonder what he means by that.
What
There's-
wall?
The wall of life?
Trump's wall?
Is there audio? of him
There's
saying
audio,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Just, I'm just waiting
Let's
for
take a listen.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for an ad. All right, here we go.
All of LA. Jim, you know, my reaction is the same as almost all of LA. You just suddenly, where everything was solid, there's a big hole in the wall, you know.
Let me just stop it there. Man, he doesn't even sound like Jack anymore.
Yeah.
No.
He seems
Sad and just
broken. Yeah.
You know, I saw him a couple years ago, and he said the worst thing about getting old is how many people that you lose. And I'm like, oh my God. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's really
like
sad.
you're just in a constant state of friends and exes, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, that does not sound great. That sounds heartbreaking.
Vito, did you ever get around to asking Earl that question?
No. Earl, who has 6 more than Kobe?
6 more rings.
Bill Russell.
There you go.
You knew he would know it.
Yeah. If Bill Russell died. Earl, were you with me when we saw Bill Russell at the burger place, or was that Fez?
I was not. Actually, wait a minute. I think I was there.
He doesn't even remember when he sees Bill Russell.
Jesus.
He's kind of like an ethereal creature. Like, is he in the room? Is he not in the room? He's like, I don't even know if I was present or if it was something I just heard about from legend.
Mm.
Look who we've got on the line here. It's Janny.
Bennington.
Hey, Johnny.
What's up?
How's it going, Johnny?
Oh, it's going.
What do you got to say for yourself, Johnny?
So, I'm going back a little bit, but I've never once even seen 1 minute of Friends. Ever.
Oh.
Never.
Welcome to the tribe.
Not once, ever, never, ever. Have I, like, you know, obviously flipping the channels, you see it, but never watched. I have not seen any of it, ever. Nor will I.
How could you be a person on this planet?
Yeah, it just seems-
particularly the time that you grew up. It's just the #1 show.
Somebody says to me, I don't like Friends. I never enjoyed Friends. I get it.
Well, there's
That
plenty of
totally-
reasons not
yeah.
to like Friends.
You know, particularly those late seasons. Ooh, boy. They were garbage.
I thought that's when they hit their pace.
Did you?
Yeah, that's when I got comfortable with them and Modern Family.
Oh, my God. Once Monica and Chandler got together, that's
Love
when
it.
you were enjoying yourself?
Yeah,
And then,
because they couldn't have a baby.
Right, and then Rachel was having babies with
With
who?
Joey.
And- yeah, and then they were proposing.
She had anal with Joey.
Yeah.
Wow.
And got pregnant, which is
But
weird.
A mistake, because he hit the asshole by mistake. He went down too low. He had a low.
Okay.
He had a low
curvature.
heart on.
Yeah.
This
Johnny,
entire conversation could be in Chinese. It would make just as much sense to me.
All right, let's
only
not be
thing I know-
anti-Chinese.
The only thing I know about Friends is that monkey, I guess there's a monkey on the show, is the same monkey from the movie Outbreak. That's the
You are
only
right
thing I
about
know.
that. And
Yes.
here's an exciting thing. I had that monkey on my show before.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, in Florida.
really.
Yeah,
That's cool.
at Universal Studios. I guess it was working there after. And you know, he's a biter. So you couldn't touch the monkey. You couldn't go near him. It's one of the reasons why they got rid of him on Friends, because he's a biter.
What do you do on Friends? Just the monkey?
Yeah. I mean, just acted
All
like
right.
a monkey. He didn't really take direction. Johnny, how's everything going with you?
Everything's going really well. Why?
You didn't want to bring up anything? I always thought I'd leave it up for you to say if you're not ready to say.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Well, soon. I mean, I will. So, yes, I am no longer employed at the Hard Rock in Times Square.
Hard Rock Johnny. And the reason why I know this, I got a cease and desist by the Hard Rock Company not to call him Hard Rock Johnny anymore.
I
Yeah,
can't
you can
believe
still
it.
call me that.
This news was
okay.
shocking
It's yes.
and problematic for your name.
Well, we'll work on that soon.
You're-
But I'm off. I'm off this entire week. They decided to give me an extra week off, which was nice of them, I guess.
So they did one of those things like where you say, I'll give 2 weeks, and then they're like, no, 1 week's plenty.
Exactly.
Here's
And
what
that's cool,
happens.
man.
I've
enjoying
been
the
around
week off.
corporations my whole life, right? They don't like it when they're like, the employees like, oh, I love this place. This place has always been you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's have a party for you to show. They're like, no.
Yep.
Every place I've ever worked.
First of all, a lot of people, even if you leave on good terms, they think the longer you stay, you'll poison the well.
Right.
Because you'll start to go, you know what? Actually, I'm leaving on such great terms. It's easier than I thought it was to leave here. And
Right.
that's all somebody has to think about to go, what do you mean? It's, oh, I thought that they would be so upset. Because I think sometimes like that's a big part of it. But I've also worked some places where it was like, there is no 2 weeks. You
Yeah.
give your time and you're out the door. You're like escorted out the door.
Right, but they get mad at you if you just go, hey, I quit, I'm not coming in. You know what I
Right.
mean? They get mad at that, like you're disloyal. But like
Right.
Johnny, like, okay, you don't need to. Go here.
Yeah.
Leave now. So you can't announce your next gig, Johnny.
I'm not ready to announce yet. Soon, though. Probably.
Can I just, can I take a guess if I'm right?
No,
You
you,
don't-
can't guess.
You don't have to say whether I'm right. Is it with the Philadelphia Flyers?
Oh.
The Fly Guys?
Because I saw that
I
their
can't-
guy punched a kid. What's his name again?
Gritty?
Gritty.
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 Gritty punched a kid. Allegedly.
No, I am not taking up a job as a mascot.
I'm surprised. No, I
Yeah, I
don't know
thought
where
about
you
it.
would go.
But yeah, they are doing I'm going in for a nice lunch tomorrow. They're going to take me out to lunch. That's nice.
Is it lunch there? And is there
No,
phrase
no.
eat, drink, and be merry?
No,
is
it
it the
not
DQ Dairy Queen?
That would really be awesome if they took me to Dairy Queen. I'd get a Mr. Misty or something. But
Johnny, can I go with you?
yes.
Now, do you feel like when you leave something like this, do you feel totally unlike yourself today?
It's weird. It's
Because you
really
were the
weird
job.
today. I really was. It's taken a little bit of time to reckon with it. It took me a week to even think about whether I was going to take the offer that I was given to the other job.
Yeah.
But it is. It's kind of part. 20 years, a long time. With
It is. Do you feel,
but,
if you were a cop, you could just go to Florida now? Now,
I know.
do you feel weird talking in front of Earl?
No.
Earl, why didn't you walk out with him since Johnny's the one who got you that made-up job out of nowhere?
He didn't take me with him.
What's that?
He didn't take me with him. He didn't.
I might. Well, you never know. There might be a vibe that needs to be managed where I go.
Yeah. I mean, no one manages a vibe like
At-
you.
At the Dairy Queen?
No. That's where they're taking me for lunch. That's not where I'm working.
Toast says he's also never seen Friends, and he started a hashtag Never Seen Friends.
I'm gonna do that.
I mean, there's shows that I've never seen. A Gilmore Girls.
I haven't either,
I've
and
seen one.
I had a group of friends who that was their thing, and I just didn't attend their weekly meetups for Gilmore Girls. And did I feel a little left out? Sure, but I just felt like it wasn't. I could tell just from commercials. I could be like, this isn't my thing.
It blew.
Something about the chit chat back and forth, something didn't ring true to me.
I watched a
About
lot
the
of Gilmore
characters.
Girls.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Vito did watch a lot of Gilmore Girls, and he was very excited when you got to see the Gilmore Girls set.
I went on the Warner Brothers tour, and they surprisingly took us to the land.
They still have that setup?
Well, the setup of Stars Hollow is where they use a lot of park scenes and stuff. And I was
Were you
really
in the house?
Yeah, they took me into the house. They still have the two main houses from that show, the gazebo. It was a dream come
Because
true.
I had Gail there 20 years ago, and the house was there, and the Friends set.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they still have both. And during the winter, apparently they redo all of the Gilmore Girls stuff for Christmas.
I am shocked. I thought they would have moved on by now, but
exciting.
I don't think they have a lot of new shows these days.
Yeah. And I think the Gilmore Girls fandom was very intense. It doesn't feel like there was a lot of them, but they seem to be a very intense crowd.
Yeah.
They know every
Oh,
little
yeah.
detail.
Now, the set that I was on that amazed me, I was on the Ren and Stimpy set, and I felt like I was high.
Was it toxic?
Are you off all this week, Johnny?
I am.
If you'd like to come in one day, you're more than welcome.
I'd love to see you, Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm in the city tomorrow. Maybe I'll get with Chris and see if he gets back to me, and then we'll.
I will, Johnny.
All right, that's good. No, you've been good like that. Maybe tomorrow I can make a big announcement. Maybe I'll tell everyone tomorrow.
You don't have to.
That'll be exciting.
No pressure.
No.
We just want to see your face.
We just want to make sure you
you
haven't
can
killed
see
yourself.
No,
All right. See you later,
I'm
Johnny.
alive.
Peace.
Later.
Earl, it sounded like they didn't treat him as nice as they should have.
Yeah, the whole thing has been very weird and an odd transition.
God. Fucking today of all days, two things happened.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe died and Vito quit. All in the same show. Vito, come on in here.
He's coming now.
Slowly but slowly. How you feeling now?
I'm feeling good.
Is there something you want to say to all of us?
Sorry, I freaked out.
Why are you looking at fucking?
Why? Was it
Chris
because of my
doesn't-
Kobe?
You were making noise.
By the way, Chris doesn't. Well, he's chewing gum, and
Yeah.
it's disgusting.
It's
but
really
that
gross. We all
doesn't
heard
mean
it.
anything. But at least he's not pounding on the keyboards. Chris, what did Chris come in and say to you?
Chris didn't come in.
It's odd.
I'm bad with interpersonal relationships.
It's not
These are
interpersonal.
all, again, you put this thing like it's just the human relationships that you're bad at. I don't care how you are with cats. I mean, this is.
What does interpersonal even mean?
I don't
Between
know.
two people?
I don't know.
Sounds like
I've heard it said
that's that
before.
redundant.
Just relationships.
Relationships in general, not the best.
Do you think that's what's keeping you from moving up in this place? Well, your real commitment is the other job, right? You're really committed to your podcast network.
Not at all. I'm committed to this show and Sirius XM.
I'm going to have
That
to.
was so unbelievable.